So I like to broach into other little subjects that perhaps I wouldn't be able to normally. And one of the things that happened to me today was that I bumped into Alfred. Or
Oh, really? So how was it?
As Beth says, and now Beth is going to hijack the video, I bumped into Alfred, or as she always calls him, Alfred the German. But then everybody is somebody or something, okay? So if you're from America, you'll be John the American. It just seems unavoidable.
Yeah, because a lot answering some questions and comments saying what happened to Alfred. So you will gonna answer that question. Why is it Alfred is not in our videos now?
Sorry, is that my order for the day?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Beth likes to be the boss on the important steps through this life of ours, like standing up and sitting down. It's a hazardous thing, you know. And when to brush your teeth, and where you're going to park the car, and should you turn left there or right or go up or down. Anyway, that's her, as you can see. Look at that chutchy face, stuffing it with the oranges.
So what happened?
So I bumped into Alfred. Now the thing is, Alfred, he is somebody that always attracts a lot of attention, and he is, sorry, I'll have to speak plainly, and then you will accept that I actually care. He's a cranky old man. Now, I often aspire to being a cranky old man, but he has set the gold standard, and as many of you have already said, without any empathy or sympathy at all, that he's a cranky old man and he's hard-headed and bull-headed and stubborn. We should send him back, as if he's a parcel, we should send him back to Germany. You know, like, oh, well, he's not working out properly, he's being himself, we better just send the bugger back to Germany. It's not possible. It's not possible, it's not doable. And he is a person in his own right. He has offended Beth, but we've been offended like this before. We've had people who met us through our channel. They met us by looking at the videos that we make and thinking, right or wrong, that we are somebody's both that they would like to meet. Now, many of these meetings have taken place and been a great joy to us. Not all, and some have never happened because in one case the person had been following us for a while and his daughter liked the idea of what we do when we were full bore on helping people, and the father expressed the wish to bring his daughter and to meet us and see what we do. But they made a stipulation, they made a condition, and they said, but no videos. Now, I struggled with this. Why? If someone had met someone else by virtue of the videos that they make, which made them feel good, because research has shown that when you show something good happening to someone, it actually makes the person who is watching feel almost as good as the guy that did the good deed. And so if you look on YouTube, you'll find this a lot. You'll find people doing, they call them social, social experiments. And they go and they sometimes, a little deceitful, for my money, they trick them into being tested as to their honesty. So they drop a $5 note down, and if the person picks it up, they're the receiver of a goodwill gift of $500. And possibly the test was a great one, because they probably have nothing. Many of these people are homeless, and they test these homeless people, and the homeless people every time, in my experience, come through and give back much more than they actually own. Well, where was I? Back to Alfred. When Alfred met me today, he is not with Marie, and he told me that Marie is not well. Her behaviour is not well. She was always a meek little mouse, all right? You have to understand this. She's a lovely girl, and she really deserves to have a good life. But we always knew that she was a little mouse. Now she gets overwhelmed easily, like any little mouse would. So our misunderstanding, just to bring you quickly up to date, was that we went round to Alfred, and in the case of these others that I've said, where they said, we'd like to see what you do and take us round and give us a little tour, but no videos. Well, sorry, that's what we do. That's how you met us. It's what we do. So no conditions. If you don't want a video, don't come. And they didn't in that particular case, without prejudice. Back to Alfred. His little mouse, Marie, is easily overwhelmed. Now, Beth went round there once, and Alfred, a little bit rudely for Beth, pointed his finger and said, "No videos." And Beth was offended by that and vowed that she'd never go back. Now, before that, we had been back several times and had done videos, and by special request, we'd had subscribers ask to meet us, and when they came here, one man was a German, and in fact there may have been two Germans who came and expressly wanted, I would love to meet Alfred. Now, regardless of whether he's abrasive and a bare-headed man, or whether, he's hard-headed or rude or whatever, or he's got a long, shaggy, funny beard, he is his own person. Now, look, he is a cranky old man. He's difficult to meet with because he is a compulsive talker. So it doesn't matter whether you offer anything anyway, because he's full steam ahead, runaway train, don't draw a breath, keep talking so that nobody gets a word in. And that, I'm trying to be kind, but that's really what he is. So when you go around, it really is, as it was today. I bumped into him in Alturas today, and for the whole conversation, he dominated. He talked and talked and talked. Now, perhaps he... Do you want to sit here? Right. Then what are you doing there? It's Nosy Parker. There she is over there. Say hello.
Hello.
And she's interfering and fiddling about, so I have to say, are you here to sit down and talk or not? And of course she's not. She's talking to the dog, who of course doesn't answer back. So, the people would like to visit him, but for some reason he started to say, don't bring people round to look at me like I'm some kind of performing monkey. maybe he didn't get the connection. Now, the thing is, if you don't do some listening, you won't get the connection, because you need to listen to what people have to say before you offer whatever it is that you want to say. And they did want to hear what Alfred had to say, but I guess he should have let them at least have a little input. But they still enjoyed meeting Alfred, and they still kept requesting to make the visit, and we made the visit, which actually is about an hour's drive away, so it's not some small thing. When we went often, I thought it was a good thing, but from what he told me today about how easily Marie is overwhelmed, I realise now that I made a mistake in that, and that I shouldn't have taken so many young ladies with me. But we were out and about, and the cry came up for, why don't we visit Alfred? That's his place over there. And we stopped by. Now, in the Philippines, if you get visited by a lot of people, it's not the same as in the West. In the West, the host and the hostess will be freaking out, but we don't have enough glasses to go around. We don't have anywhere for them to sit. We don't have this. We don't have that. We can't be the perfect host and hostess. Here, none of that matters. You can go around and visit somebody, as we did sometimes, with 10 young, lively, happy, talkative, playful students in their teens, and they make no demands at all if in anything. They might start washing up or tidying or doing something, but they'll sit around and there won't be any problem. Well, apparently for our little mouse, Marie, it was a problem, and it was an overwhelm, and she didn't know how to process it, for which we should apologise to Alfred, now that I can get a word in. I don't know how we can help Alfred. Believe it or not, Alfred is actually a very intelligent man. He's just, as my brother would have said, he's just as rough as a bear's arse. He doesn't have a good bedside manner, as the doctors. He doesn't have a good, and he tends to speak without filters. You've got to accept that. If you want to see Alfred, you've got to accept that. And he regretted that our friendship had cooled, shall we say, because I found it very difficult to go around there and for half an hour non-stop listen. I'm getting old for non-stop listening. I like a little bit of to and fro. And on at least one occasion, I got a dig in the ribs from one of the students because I was doing this and nodding off, and well, Alfred didn't notice. Alfred doesn't notice anything in the listener as long as they're quiet and they're looking at him full face. It's enough. I wish I could help Alfred. I don't know that there is anything that anybody can. He apparently is not having any problems with his visa now, though he didn't mention it, and because of his silence, I take it that there is no problem. The problem now is keeping his little mouse sane and happy, and that is a big challenge, and we wish him well in it. I'm not sure whether we'll be able to front a visit, but we'll see. But be kind. If you want to comment on this section of this video, the fact that I've talked about Alfred. Be kind, please. You know, sometimes when you meet someone who seems like a bear with a sore head, see, I've cleaned that one up from my brother. Maybe their backstory is one which would absolutely horrify you. And believe me, I've met many like that. Kids who have had to take over their entire families. I went to the graduation of such a girl who is one of my heroes, Angie. Angie lost both her parents and became the mom and dad and sister of her, I think, 3 or 4 siblings, and did incredibly well. And still, with a little help from us, she finished her education, and I was proud to be there with her on her graduation. So if you found anything of interest on this, someone who might be interested in Alfred's story and how he's getting on, he's not doing well health-wise. He was at the market, but he only goes into Taliban now, he says, 3 times a month. So the knees and the hips are getting to him. He's 67, has no intention of going in for, even if I suppose he could afford it, he's not going to go in and have hip replacements and knee replacements, and has researched it for himself. But other than that, and other than the challenges I've told you, he's out and about and shopping, and at least approaching something that certainly seemed like an apology, if not an expression of sorrow that the friendship between he and I is not what it used to be. So, been going too long now, I'll let you go. And bye for now.